Chosen one, if this video found its way to you today, understand that it was not by accident. You did not arrive here by chance. Something beyond what your eyes can fully see has been quietly guiding your steps, arranging this very moment so that what needs to reach you will reach you. Before you scroll, before you move on, pause and be still. What you are about to receive has the power to confirm what your spirit has already been sensing. This message was prepared for you. There is something stirring deep within you. You have felt it even if you have struggled to put it into words. It is a quiet but persistent awareness that you are standing at the edge of something significant, something you cannot fully see yet but can feel pressing against your spirit. That feeling is not confusion. It is not anxiety. It is not the voice of fear trying to unsettle you. What you are sensing is the unmistakable signal that you have been chosen for a moment that is bigger than anything you have previously walked through. You were not placed on this earth to live an ordinary life. You were not formed simply to survive, to simply endure one season after another with nothing but exhaustion to show for it. There is a specific purpose that has been woven into the very fabric of who you are, and that purpose has been waiting for this exact season to fully emerge. Everything you have experienced up until now, every trial, every silent night, every moment when you questioned whether you were truly seen or truly valued, all of it has been working together to bring you to this point. Nothing has been wasted. Not a single moment. You may have looked around at others and wondered why your path looks so different. You may have questioned why doors that seemed open for everyone else remain closed for you, or why the journey you are walking feels so much harder than it appears to be for those around you. But what you have interpreted as delay, as setback, as being passed over, has actually been divine preparation. The path you have been walking has not been leading you away from your purpose. It has been forming you into the version of yourself who is ready to carry it. Type chosen in the comments right now if you believe deep in your heart that your time is not behind you. Type it if something within you is rising up even as you read these words, confirming that this message is speaking directly to the place inside you that has been waiting for permission to believe again. You are not too late. You have not missed your window. The moment you were created for has not passed. It is here. Stay present through this entire message because what is being released right now is not something you stumbled upon. You were led here. There is a reason this found you today, in this season, at this specific point in your journey. Before this is over, something is going to settle in your spirit, a clarity you have not had before, a strength that has been absent, and a confirmation so deep that the doubt you have been carrying will no longer have room to remain. Do not close this. Do not walk away. What is ahead in this message holds something that belongs to you. There is a reason you have been feeling a shift lately. Something inside you has been changing, quietly and steadily, even when your outer circumstances have not yet reflected it. You have been sensing that the life you are currently living does not match the life you were designed for. That gap between where you are and where you feel you are supposed to be is not a sign that something has gone wrong. It is a sign that something is about to go right. That tension you carry is not a burden. It is a signal. It is the pressure of purpose pushing against the walls of a season that is coming to its end. You were not built for a small life. You were not created to shrink, to stay silent, to sit in the background while others step into what was meant for you. There has been a calling placed on your life that is so specific, so intentional, so carefully designed, that no one else on this earth can fulfill it the way you can. Not with your history. Not with your voice. Not with the particular combination of pain and strength and wisdom that you have gathered through every hard season you have survived. What you carry is not ordinary, and deep within yourself, you have always known this, even in the moments when you tried to convince yourself otherwise. But here is what your adversary does not want you to understand. The closer you get to stepping into what you were chosen for, the louder the opposition becomes. The doubt that rises up when you are on the edge of a breakthrough is not coincidence. The fear that whispers you are not enough, not ready, not worthy does not appear randomly. It appears precisely because something significant is near. If nothing was at stake, there would be no resistance. The very fact that you have been facing pressure, confusion, and delay is confirmation that what lies ahead of you carries real weight. Chosen ones are not left alone. They are tested before they are trusted with what they were made to carry. Type 99 in the comments if you have ever felt like you were this close to something great, only to feel something pull you back. Type it if there have been moments in your life where you almost gave up on the very thing you were placed here to do. You are not alone in that feeling. Many who were chosen have stood in that same place, on the edge of surrender, not knowing that the breakthrough was only one more step ahead. The enemy of your purpose knows what you are capable of better than you do, and that is precisely why the opposition has been so persistent. Do not allow the length of the waiting season to convince you that the promise has expired. A seed does not become a tree overnight, and what is being grown inside of you has deep roots that needed time to form before what is above the surface could stand strong. The preparation you have been in was not punishment. It was not abandonment. It was the careful, intentional work of something greater than you shaping you from the inside out, so that when the moment arrives, and it is arriving, you will not collapse under the weight of it. You will rise to meet it. This is not the time to retreat. This is not the time to go back to what was familiar simply because the unfamiliar feels uncertain. What is behind you served its purpose, but it was never your destination. You have outgrown it. Your spirit knows this even when your mind tries to argue otherwise. The pull you feel towards something more, something deeper, something that actually aligns with the truth of who you are, that pull is not wishful thinking. It is direction. Follow it. What is ahead of you is greater than anything you are leaving behind, and before this message is finished, you will feel that truth settle in a way that removes all doubt. I want to speak to you now, directly and personally, because what you need to hear in this moment cannot be delivered from a distance. I've been watching you. I have seen every moment you pushed through when everything inside you wanted to stop. I have seen the nights when the silence felt heavier than anything you could carry, when the tears came not because you were weak but because you had been strong for so long without anyone noticing. I have seen the prayers that left your lips when you had nothing left to offer but honesty. I heard every single one. Not one word fell to the ground without being received. You questioned whether I had forgotten you. You looked at your life and compared it to what you believed it should look like by now, and in those moments of comparison, a quiet fear crept in that perhaps you had somehow disqualified yourself. Perhaps you had made too many mistakes. Perhaps the window had closed while you were not paying attention. I need you to hear this clearly and let it reach the deepest part of you. I did not choose you because you were perfect. I chose you because you were willing. I did not select you because your record was clean. I selected you because your heart, even when broken, kept turning back toward truth. That is not a small thing. That is everything. This season you are standing in right now is not a waiting room. It is a launching pad. What feels like stillness to you is anything but still on my end. There are things being arranged that your natural eyes cannot yet detect. There are doors being positioned that have not yet become visible. There are connections, opportunities, and alignments moving into place that will make sense the moment they arrive, and when they do, you will look back at this exact moment and understand why the timing was what it was. Nothing about your life has been accidental. Not the detours. Not the delays. Not even the disappointments. Every single piece has been purposeful, and I have been present in all of it. Type ready in the comments if you are receiving this right now. Type it if something is shifting inside you as you take in these words, if a heaviness that you have been carrying is beginning to lift, if a part of you that had grown quiet is beginning to wake up again. This is not emotion. This is activation. This is the moment your spirit has been waiting for, the moment where what was spoken over your life before you were even born begins to move from promise into reality. You were chosen before you had a name. You were selected before you drew your first breath. And nothing that has happened since then has changed that. I also need you to understand something about the path ahead. It will not always look the way you expect it to look. It will not always move at the pace you feel it should move. There will be moments when you are tempted to measure your progress by what is visible and to conclude that nothing is happening. In those moments, return to this truth. I do not work only in what is seen. My greatest work happens beneath the surface, in the quiet, in the hidden places, in the interior of a person before the exterior ever reflects the change. Trust the process even when the process is invisible. Trust the promise even when the evidence has not yet appeared. What I have spoken over your life does not expire. It waits for the right moment and then it moves. You are standing in that moment right now. Not tomorrow. Not in another season when you feel more prepared or more worthy or more ready. No. This is the moment I have been preparing you for, and you are more equipped for it than you currently believe. The doubt you feel is not discernment. It is the final resistance before a breakthrough that cannot be stopped. Step forward. I am already there ahead of you, and what is waiting on the other side of your obedience is greater than anything fear has told you to protect yourself from. Now that you have received the confirmation your spirit has been waiting for, it is time to move from awareness into action. Receiving a word is powerful, but it is only the beginning. What happens next depends on what you choose to do with what has been placed inside you in this moment. Many people receive truth and feel it deeply in the moment, only to allow the noise of daily life to slowly bury it again beneath routine and distraction. That will not be your story. Not today. Because what has been awakened in you in this season is not a temporary feeling. It is a permanent shift, and it is asking something of you in return. The first thing you must do is silence the voice that has been arguing against your purpose. You know the one. It is the voice that rehearses your past mistakes louder than your future potential. It is the voice that lists every reason why someone else is more qualified, more gifted, more deserving of the life you have been called to live. That voice is not truth. It is noise dressed in familiarity, and you have been listening to it for far too long. From this moment forward, you are being called to make a deliberate choice to stop giving that voice a seat at the table of your mind. It does not belong there. It never did. What belongs there is the truth of who you were created to be, and that truth is louder than any lie that has ever tried to take its place. The second thing you must do is begin moving even before the full picture is clear. Chosen ones do not wait for perfect conditions before they take the first step. They do not wait until all the fear is gone, until all the questions are answered, until all the pieces are visibly in place. They move with what they have been given, trusting that the next step will become visible as they walk. This is what it means to live by faith and not by sight. The path does not always illuminate itself all at once. Sometimes it reveals itself one step at a time, and the only way to see the next step is to take the one directly in front of you. Take that step. It does not have to be large. It does not have to be perfect. It simply has to be forward. Type 777 in the comments right now to claim the breakthrough that is already moving in your direction. Type it as an act of faith, as a declaration that you are no longer standing still, that you are no longer waiting for permission, that you are stepping into what was prepared for you before you were even aware it existed. Let that number in the comments be your personal declaration that something has changed in you today, that the version of you who finishes this message is not the same as the version who started it. The third thing you must do is protect what has been placed inside you. Not everyone around you is equipped to handle the weight of what you are carrying. Not every person in your circle is meant to have access to your dreams, your direction, and your deepest convictions. There are those who, not out of malice but simply out of the limitation of their own perspective, will project their doubts onto your vision. They will ask questions that plant seeds of uncertainty. They will offer opinions that are rooted in fear rather than faith. You do not need to argue with them. You do not need to convince them. You simply need to guard what has been entrusted to you with the same seriousness that you would guard anything of great value. Your purpose is priceless. Treat it accordingly. What is coming into your life in this next season will not announce itself with noise. It will arrive with a quiet sense of alignment, a feeling of things finally falling into place, a peace that confirms you are moving in the right direction. New connections are coming, people who are assigned to your purpose and who will recognize what is on your life without needing it to be explained. Open doors are coming, opportunities that match exactly where you are being led, that arrive not through striving but through alignment. A financial shift is coming, a restoration is coming, a clarity is coming that will make everything that once felt complicated begin to feel simple. You were chosen for all of it. Receive it without apology. You made it to this moment, and that itself is not a small thing. There are people who encounter a message like this and walk away before it is finished, not because it did not speak to them, but because something inside them is afraid of what fully receiving it would require. But you stayed. You remained present through every word, through every section, through every moment where something in you was being stirred and shifted and realigned. The fact that you are here, reading these final words, is itself a confirmation. It is a sign that you are ready. Not almost ready. Not getting there. Ready. Right now. In this moment, exactly as you are. I want you to take a breath and notice what is happening inside you. There is something different now compared to when you first began. A heaviness that was sitting quietly in your chest has begun to lift. A fog that was making your direction feel unclear has begun to thin. A part of you that had grown tired of waiting, tired of believing, tired of holding on to something you could not yet see, has begun to find its strength again. That is not coincidence. That is not simply the result of words on a screen. That is the response of a spirit that has just been reminded of what it already knew but had temporarily forgotten. You were chosen. You have always been chosen. And nothing that has happened in your life has ever changed that truth. The journey ahead of you will not always be easy. There will still be days that test your resolve, moments that challenge your faith, and seasons that ask you to hold on a little longer than feels comfortable. But you will face those moments differently now. You will face them as someone who knows they are not walking alone. You will face them as someone who has been reminded that every closed door was protection, every delay was preparation, and every hard season was forming something in you that could not have been formed any other way. You are not fragile. You are not forgotten. You are not behind. You are precisely where you need to be, moving toward precisely what was always meant for you. Type Amen in the comments if this message reached you today in the place where you needed it most. Type it if something has settled in your spirit that was unsettled before. Type it if you are leaving this message with a clarity, a strength, and a sense of direction that you did not have when you arrived. Let that word in the comments be your agreement, your acceptance, and your declaration that you are stepping fully into the identity of someone who is chosen, someone who is ready, and someone who will not turn back. This is your moment. Receive it completely. There is one more thing I need you to hear before you go, and it may be the most important thing of all. Forgiveness is part of your forward movement. There are people, situations, and seasons from your past that you have been carrying with you into spaces where they were never meant to come. The weight of unresolved pain, unforgiven offenses, and unprocessed disappointment has been slowing your movement in ways you may not have fully recognized. Releasing those things does not mean what happened was acceptable. It does not mean you are pretending the pain was not real. It means you are choosing your future over your history. It means you are deciding that what lies ahead of you is worth more than the energy it costs to keep holding on to what is behind you. Let it go. Not for them. For you. For your purpose. For the life that is waiting on the other side of that release. You are not the same person who began this message. Something has changed. Something has been confirmed, activated, and set in motion that cannot be undone. The chosen do not stay the same after they encounter truth. They are marked by it. They are changed by it. They carry it forward into every space they enter and into every life they touch. That is who you are now. That is who you have always been, and today you are simply walking in it with greater awareness than you had before. Share this message with someone who needs to hear it, someone who is struggling, someone who has been questioning their purpose, someone who is on the edge of giving up on the very thing they were placed here to do. They may be chosen too, and this may be the message that reminds them. Go forward. Your moment has already begun, and everything that was promised over your life is moving toward you right now.